The Estwing sportsman's hatchet. I know you guys have seen this before. Nice little USA made, budget friendly camp hatchet. Chopping and cutting. I know this thing got great reviews. It's a sportsman's model. It's got the leather wrapped around the handle, all steel construction, indestructible, right? For the money, it's pretty decent for cutting and chopping, but I'm gonna tell you guys why this thing is horrible for axe throwing. Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Wes, the Suburban Viking. Of course, we got Dave here with us. Say hey, Dave.
What's up?
And we are Midgard Axe. Okay, so we're going to get into the Estwing Sportsman's Hatchet now. And I'm going to tell you guys up front, I've already done a review on an Estwing hatchet previously, the camper's model with the blue rubber grip. That thing, once you get that blue rubber grip off, it flew great. Take that rubber grip off, put another grip on it that's a little less sticky, and that thing flies really well. The reason why that one flies really well is because the weight distribution on it is completely different than this one. And yes, I know the grip is all messed up on this one. I'll tell you guys why in a little bit. Specs on the Sportsman's hatchet. There are two different models. One is coming in at 12.5 inches. The other one's coming in at 13.5 inches long. This one right here is a 13.5 inch length hatchet. Has a 3.25 inch bit. The other one's got a 2 and a 3.25 inch bit. Okay, so we do have a longer hatchet with a bigger bit than the other model. Now let's get into why I initially thought this would be a good flyer and why I find out it's not. Number one, I thought this was going to be a good flyer because I reviewed an Estwing before. I knew that the grips on them are a little compromised for axe throwing, meaning the rubber tears and breaks, and this leather is going to do the same thing. However, I thought it still flew very well last time. This one's probably going to fly the same way. Number two, it's all steel. It's pretty much indestructible, so you can throw it, beat it up against all kinds of different things. It's not going to break like a wooden handled hatchet would. That was a couple of the reasons why I thought this would be good. So when it came in the mail, I got it, took it out of the box, kind of felt it in my hand, and I go, man, this thing feels weird. It's pretty heavy. I weighed this in on my scale. It came in at 1 pound and 12.7 ounces. But it's not extremely heavy for a hatchet, but the weight on it just feels weird, okay? So I kind of was doing this, and I was like, man, this thing may not fly all that well. And that's what I always tell you guys, is that it's really hard to look at stuff online and pictures and say it's going to fly well or not until you get it in your hands. Then sometimes you can get it in your hands and go, I don't know, and then throw it's great. So you really have to get this stuff in your hands and then throw it to make a decision on it, okay? So after I got it in my hands, I noticed the weight was a little weird on it, okay? But I decided to throw it anyway because I review hatchets, and that's what we do on this channel. So I took it outside. Now, the first thing that I did notice is that at single rotations, it's okay. Single rotations are all right. You can stick it if you want at a single rotation, but I will tell you, you have to fight it a little bit. You do. It wants to wobble a lot. And the reason why it wants to wobble a lot is because, guys, check this weight test out that I like doing. I mean, we're talking major weight in this handle, guys. I mean, almost all the weight in this hatchet is from here to here, okay? So you have a ton of weight in your hand. So after I threw it a couple times in a single rotation, I was like, man, this thing, you can totally feel your wrist wants to roll so easy with this thing. So when you lock your wrist down, even when you get it flying in the air, it still wants to wobble. Double and triple rotations, forget it. It is a nightmare throwing this. I wanted to take this axe and just throw it as far as I could away from me after I got done throwing it for double and triple rotations. Just being honest, guys. Just being honest. Now, getting into the leather grip and why I didn't like it. Number one, it's got some type of clear coat over top of it, and it wants to just hang up on your hand. It's like glue, like I've told you guys before. When you get any type of axe that has a clear coat, varnish over top of it or anything like that, and you go to throw it, especially when it's high humidity, it just wants to stick on your hand, and the axe is going to do all kinds of crazy stuff in the air. There's no smooth release. So I didn't get much of a smooth release from this, and I really couldn't remedy that because it's what's holding the leather on the handle. So I had to throw it the way it was, and that may have been why I didn't fly very well, okay? Number two, this knob down here is a steel knob, and it's got two steel rivets down here at the bottom. So when I was releasing this thing out of my hand, that steel knob down there, guys, was just dragging across my hand. I had huge red marks on my hand after it was over. That wasn't very pleasant either. However, when you start talking about why I didn't like this handle, about the clear coat, whenever I threw this thing, getting into why this broke, I threw it onto a wood round. I hit kind of low on the wood round with the bit, and I caught the handle down here. It kind of came in like this, hit the bottom of the wood round, and went in. So it was a little bit of an under rotation, okay? It hit here, but it snapped back here. As you can see, I'll come around the camera. As you can see, it hit here, but it snapped in the back. But I'm glad that happened because it made a lot of sense once I came up and pulled it out and looked at it. I totally see what's going on with this hatchet and why it's flying so weird. And I'll come back around to the back of the camera and show you why. This handle is extremely thick underneath this leather. Steel. Guys, it's thicker right here than it is right here. You have a ton of steel going from here to here. So that's why it feels like it does when you throw it. I know this isn't a throwing axe. I know some people are going to say, well, yeah, of course, it's not designed to be thrown. And I've proven before, guys, there's a lot of work axes out there that are great axes for axe throwing, and we don't know if it's going to perform well unless we get it and throw it. So I'm not knocking Estwing, and I'm not knocking the sportsman's hatchet because it doesn't fly well. Of course, it wasn't designed for that. However, we've proven on this channel time and time again, there are some work axes out there that are incredible axes for axe throwing. And I use them all the time. When it comes to using work axes for axe throwing, I like using axes that I can do multiple things with. A multi-purpose tool. Cut, chop, and throw. So my thing with this is it the best flyer in the world? No. Would I recommend it for axe throwing? No, I wouldn't. Not even for a single rotation. You could do it, but it's just frustrating. It really is. This thing should be used as the way it's designed. This one here just doesn't fit that bill. And to be quite frank with everybody, I'm going to go against the grain with a lot of people. I don't really care for this even for chopping. I think it's weighted weird. I think there's better options out there for the money that could give you more possibilities and give you more options than this one could. And I think it'd be more comfortable with another hatchet too. I think you would. I know my experience is that I threw this, put it in my hand. I mean, before I even threw it, guys, I put it in my hand. I was like, this thing just feels weird. It just does. What do you think, Dave?
You should have bought a Swedish hatchet.
Of course. Of course. Everything made in Sweden's better.
Well,
of course it is, Dave.
it is actually.
Anyway, guys, that's just my experience. Single rotations, you'd probably be okay, but then again, you're going to have to fight this leather grip. Once that clear coat breaks, guys, you're done. Yeah, you can rewrap it with another grip and throw it again, but you're still having to deal with that really thick steel down there. And you're not going to be able to get it back to factory with the leather like it is. So that's something you're going to have to deal with. And it's not going to just take a throw wrong to hit it and break it. You drop something on it, it could crack, break apart, dry out, and you have to fight with this clear coat on here too, which is not great for axe throwing. Tell me what you guys think. Have you dealt with the sportsman's hatchet before? Do you like it for camping, chopping work? Let me know what you guys think if you have experience with it. I just think there's better things out there for the money. I'm not saying it's bad. I think there's better things out there, and write this thing off for axe throwing. Wouldn't even try it. Don't even worry about messing with it. I'll give you my honest opinion. You can take it or not, but just stay away from it for axe throwing. There's better things out there for the money. But we're out of here, guys. I appreciate all your support. If you haven't seen, go back and check my trailer out for 2025. We're kind of redesigning the channel next year. I'm going to open up the channel with a really cool throwing axe in January. We're going to get crazy next year, doing dedicated throwing axes for a good portion of the year. So please go check out my trailer and check out the last video I dropped before this one, which is the, I forgot which one was it, Dave?
It was who makes the best throwing axe.
Right. Dave got it. Yep, that video. Go check that video out. It'll tell you everything we're doing in January of 2025 and what we're going to do new going forward. So consider subscribing, guys. I'm going to do a bunch of different stuff in 2025, hafting, throwing crazy, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And we're going to get into the WATL, the World Axe Throwing League axes, one by one until we get through all of them next year. Going to go through every single one of them. We are. Appreciate everything everybody does to make this channel what it is. I appreciate you guys commenting and watching and liking the video. That really helps me out with the algorithm and trying to push my video out so other people like you can find me and join the channel and watch me do crazy stuff and watch Dave talk all crazy because he's as crazy as they come. But appreciate your support. Let's get into some more videos. Next video is going to be the 5 best axes I reviewed in 2024. That should be a fun one. So appreciate your support. Let's get out of here, Dave. See you guys.
Are we done? That hatchet does not deserve another ounce of my time. Sportsman hatchet my ass. I am hungry. Meatballs sound good.
Yeah, if you'd stop yapping, let's go. It's pouring. Dude, it's starting to rain. Come on, let's go.